are at US Toy with the Magician's Magician, Daryl.
That would be me, yes. Hello.
Hello. I'm just going to ask you a few simple, basic questions. We just had a fabulous lecture by Daryl. He's getting ready to do a 6-hour workshop.
Oh, very heavy, very heavy. Yeah.
Very heavy workshop here. So, world famous magician, hundreds of awards, every award in magic.
Well, dozens, but not hundreds, no. 97, actually.
97, that's it. FISM Gold,
Yes, Prism Gold.
Magician of the Year numerous times. Do you have any advice for the kids out there looking to get a competition act together?
Absolutely. Definitely know what the effect is. If you don't know what the effect is, if you're just doing stuff, but there's no effect, you're kind of wasting your time. An effect is something that's impossible. And it should be able to be described in a quick, short sentence. The coin went through the table. The dollar bill vanished. You know, the rings linked together. These are simple, basic effects, but they're easy to remember. They're easy to understand. Di Vernon said it best. He said, confusion is not magic. Don't confuse the audience. There should be no confusion as to what happened. They should have no idea how it happened, but they should know what happened. Very important.
Yes, very good. During your lecture tonight, you referenced a lot of books. Tarbell, LaPaul, it's a fabulous book. Many books. You have numerous DVDs, videos on the market. Do you prefer books over DVDs to learn from, or both, or?
That's a good question. I prefer both. I learn from books because in my day when I was learning, we didn't have DVDs, not even the big, thick Betamax. You know, that just wasn't, it didn't happen yet. Books are great. The problem with books is that you might not know exactly what it's supposed to look like. You know what you think it's supposed to look like, but unless there's a magician at the Magic Club that you could ask, say, what is this supposed to look like? If you don't know, then you don't know what your goal is. You don't know what you're trying to accomplish. So it's a very good idea to watch on video to see what it's supposed to look like, practice it, but don't copy. There's a difference between just practicing a technique and copying somebody's style. That's one of the problems with videos is very often you're learning the teacher's style and you're not developing your own style. So that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Good. What are your thoughts on this so-called YouTube exposure?
Oh, it's a shame. You know what? If somebody's very good at what they do and they teach it on video or they teach it on YouTube, that's fine. The problem is the vast majority of what I've seen out there is just absolutely awful. You know, you could watch somebody like Ricky Jay perform a beautiful, beautiful thing that he spent years developing, and it's a masterpiece. And one click over, you're seeing some teenager that doesn't have any idea what he's doing, completely ruining it and exposing it, and he doesn't even get it. That's a shame. That's sad. That hurts. So stop doing it, you guys out there. Goofballs.
Yes, what he said.
Yeah.
Your wife is a magician.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have an act together, or she does her own thing?
She does her own thing. She's always had her own act, and her act was completely different. Mine is more close-up, sort of sleight of hand. She's always had the feathers and the costumes and the legs, and she worked cruise ships and Japan. I mean, she's done bigger stage shows with lots of nice music and everything. Completely different, but she studied drama and theater in college at the university in Birmingham. So yeah, she's great, just great.
What is one thing we don't already know about Daryl?
Yes, many things. One thing, my last name is actually Easton. Very few people know that. I'm using it now, but only like on my driver's license and when I'm making hotel reservations and stuff. I've always been Daryl, just Daryl, D-A-R-Y-L, because I've always known there was a little funny business in my history with my family, and my great-grandmother wasn't really, she was pregnant and the father was an Easton, but he kind of disappeared from the scene, and she was having the baby and she married a Martinez, and he said, well, let's just bring him up as our own. And so my family name was Martinez, even though my biological great-grandfather's name was Easton. So now I've actually changed it legally back to Easton. So that's the scoop. That's the work. But it's just Daryl. It's always Daryl. So when you see me down the street, don't say, hello, Mr. Easton. Say, hey, Daryl, how you doing? I say, doing fine. Thanks for asking. My wife's name, her last name is Morgan. Her maiden name was Morgan. Oh, that's another thing. Magicians are such funny people. They say, oh, Daryl changed his name when he got married. It's like, no, I didn't change my name when I got married. Her maiden name was Morgan. And now she's Allison Easton. I'm Daryl Easton, but I'm still Daryl. I'll always be Daryl to you out there.
Good. Are you on Facebook, Twitter? How can we get a hold of you? Website?
The best way, the website is great, Daryl, D-A-R-Y-L, that's how I spell it, at daryl.net, same spelling, or my email is daryl@daryl.net as well. I do have Facebook and Twitter and stuff, but the best way is email, because that way I check it. I don't as often check the Facebook account, that type of thing, but I always check my email.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a great group.
Yes,
Great
Daryl, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.